cryptopapa.
Good days, everybody. Welcome back to Cryptopapa, where crypto is hard, but Papa makes it easy. My name is Conan. Once again, thank you very much for clicking in for another video. This is where we share across the platform with you. We talk about anything related to crypto. We share the news and also some of the educational techniques that we analyze behind the scene. We wanted to share it with you as a signal so that you can earn more profit with us and to work together hand in hand with us. So, before we start the video, this is not an financial advice, so please do your own due diligence and your risk management. Before we start, please help us to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more of this kind of video, and let's get straight into the market. So today is Monday, and usually, particularly on each new start of the week, the market is looking extremely bullish, and it is the same goes to Bitcoin. So this is the daily time frame chart. If we draw using the Fibonacci retracement, we could see that the current candlestick, especially on the last 2 days, which is falling on the weekend, the candlestick has been successfully standing firmly on the 0.618, which is the 61.8% golden value of the Fibonacci retracement. And on today's market opening, the candlestick had been climbing out to the 50% of the Fibonacci. And how can we judge using this particular market chart? So there are two scenarios in this case. The first one, we can expect that the current Bitcoins are doing a strong round the top chart pattern, and this is a bearish looking scenario. If it drops below the 61.8%, we could predict that for the next movement of the Bitcoin, it will go further to the downwards, maybe to go and test first at the 105,000 key level over here before it shoot down to this area. And people doesn't want the Bitcoins to plummet all the way to below 100,000. So in this case, we are still judging that the market are hoping that the market are doing a trend reversal. And at this time, we can split into a smaller pieces of time frame. So the first one is the 4 hour, where a lot of you see a lot of little candlesticks are starting to climb up. So if we judge the market using some of the technical side, we can essentially assume that it plummeted so fast all the way to this zone, and we can assume that for the trend reversal, in this case the candlestick should be going all the way to test the 120,000 area, which is particularly on this area. And it shouldn't even be a problem for the candlestick to approach to this area. And this should be signaling that for a lot of traders, you can wait for a nice pullback maybe to this area before you put in a long position. And this is a very rare scenario where you see the candlestick has been standing firmly, has been rejected very clean at the 61.8 golden value Fibonacci. And this is a very strong bullish opportunity for us to put in a long position, because we are expecting a lot of institutional will be putting a lot of volume, a lot of power, and you see as a lot of money has been channeling back into the Bitcoin, this could push further of the current 114,000 value. It should be going back in a short period of time all the way to the 120,000 key level. This is the first crucial step. And then if let's say if it could stand firmly or even ranging across this area, you see there are so many little green candles over here, and we are still waiting for a huge volume to inject into maybe this area before we see a very huge upside momentum will push the candlestick towards this another channels, or this channel between 116,000 to 118,000 before we could see it should break the rounded top structure, and then it will go all the way to the upside. We got the next one, the BTC dominance. The dominance are doing a symmetrical triangle, and of course, by judging back on our previous video, we say that there are a highly chance of 64% of the current BTC dominance will be structured, and it will continue to fall all the way to the downside. So we wait for the structure to fully completed, and we see another round of a downside falling and we can assume that by using the 1-to-1 falling method strategy, it could potentially heads down all the way to the 58.7 to 57.5% zone. So when the Bitcoin dominance are falling, this is also signaling that an inverse movement for the altcoins could be triggered, and it also means that it's a bullish signal for the altcoin. So we need to always position ourselves for, in the most cases, for most of the altcoins, we need to really see how is the movement of the BTC dominance and also the Bitcoins of the day before we even put in our trade into the altcoins. So the first signal of today is the OM USDT. So you see this is a very nice descending triangle, and also it has been breaks out from this area 0.24 to all the way up to 0.27, and currently it is doing another round of the accumulation setup. So I had drawn a very nice this is what we known as the cheat area and also the low cheat area, where you could partially put in your position at this area as long as the candlestick doesn't fall down below this 11.66%. We could see a further upside of the setup. It should be following what we predicted next, and in the most safest condition, you can buy in the trade when the candlestick has successfully breaks out this entry level and partially buys in maybe just a little bit, maybe a 5%, 3 to 5% of your spot capital. If not, just wait for the candlestick to accumulate or even trading ranging more across this area, and we wait for it to breaks out to the entries level before you put in the position. Okay, so we stay tuned for the OM USDT. So looking next is the random USDT. So it has just a couple of hours ago, it has been breaking off the entries level. This is the ABCD chart pattern, and using the chart pattern given, we can predict that it should be going back to the C area in maybe a short period of time, and you can buy in if you want. If you are interested, you can put in your position, long position, all the way looking at the first TP at 3.8, and after that following by the next TP at the 4.0, or even you can put it at 3.99 to be, to make sure that it touch your area, because this is a psychological number, the 4.0 or even 4.1, 4.2, all these are the magic number on the trading chart. We should always put maybe slightly a little bit lesser than the actual target, or you can just alternatively move your SL along when you start profiting from the trade. Moving directly to the next several signals of today, the ASR USDT. But as on the previous video that we had mentioned about ASR, these are the adjusted one with a more clean contraction pattern from the 31% halving and halving until we get about 6%, which is less than 10% of risk. So you got stop loss of less than 6% between the SL and the entries level. So at this moment, we are waiting patiently for the candlestick to either accumulate more power by trading in this area and this zone. This is, we call this is a accumulation area or a very low cheat area. So under 6% of risk, you got nothing to worry about, and unless you got another contraction showing up inside this 6%, and thus we could get about 3% in this case. So hopefully it will either stay in this area until we got enough volume to make sure that the candlestick has been fully breaks out, and on the valid side, we could potentially see a very huge upside movement all the way to our predicted TP. On the third TP, we set it at 6.4. So let's look forward for this one. Atom USDT. This is what we call a bat pattern, a bat harmonic pattern, or even a bullish godly pattern, where it just flipped from a downshift trend to the upside trend. Okay, so we are still waiting. We set the entries over this area, and our first TP would be the neckline. And once the candlestick has reached the first TP area, the structure are completed, and also we are looking very, very bullish in this case. But of course, let's not be greedy, and we put it the next TP all the way to the C area at 4.9. Of course, the stop loss we put underneath the X pattern. So if the market condition continue to worsening, or else you can just wait patiently, because today is Monday, so probably for the market condition will be slightly better than the last week. Of course, last week we got the FOMC meeting, but on today's and this week market, we shall see slightly market recovering, and hopefully in most of the cases, all the altcoins are doing better. If we change it to the 15 minutes, you could see even more little candlesticks over here. This could be, this could be a cup handle. So how do we draw it? Just by, pressing the art. You can just, using the next line provided, you draw an art over here. And presumably we can predict that for the next movement, it shall do another handles pattern over here. And hence, this could be a valid cups and handle pattern. And using the 1-to-1 ratio of the profit taking strategy, we can pull it all the way to the upside. And we can generate another TP area, maybe somewhere around here. And you see, on the previous candle, it touched some of the support, some of the resistance area. You see a lot of candlestick touching over this line. And we can, for sure acknowledge that this could be a 1-to-1 upside of the profit taking area. And also we got a lot of TPs over here using a slightly bigger picture. Of course, we need to always zoom out the chart, technically always zooming out to a bigger picture to see how is the market trends are doing. Okay, so we stay tuned for the candlestick. So moving fast to the next Q term, QTUM USDT, a clean downshift trend, and it has just broken out the resistance line of the upside trend line and currently are still ranging. You see, here's the thing, this is a huge upside momentum of the candlestick. So here's the thing, you need to really absorb a lot of power in order to break out to the upper side. So in order to chase more liquidity upside, we will need a lot of volume in order for the candlestick to have a momentum to go to the uptrend. And we look forward on this, and you can start to position your trade accordingly, maybe with some partial of your capital, and just by putting on a little bit over here, and you wait for a fully breakout before you reload with more and more of your partial capital. So let's wait for the huge upside, and we will see how is the market moving. So moving last is the SOL, the large cap Solana USDT, and of course this will be the last signal for today. And according to the ABCD chart pattern, Solana are doing a flipping upshift trend from the end of the downtrend shift. So currently it has just begun to break out the entry. It is still testing over this area. So we wait for a valid confirm retesting, and then you might be considering to put in your position for a long one, and it will be soon enough to heads up to all these TP and above. So that's all for today. So if you are interested in joining the team, we are just about to, in considering to open up an English speaking channel where we recruit a lot of students in order for them to learn how to read the chart, and also to give them a lot of opportunities to find a lot of position where they can profit. And also we structure the team on how to make their position or even the risk to minimize to the maximum. We want them to be profiting every day or even consistently over time. And if you are interested, please feel free to comment below. And of course, if you got any question, you are welcome to put your comment at the below section. And that's all for today. I hope you like this video. Please do us a quick favor, help us to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more video to support the community. And I hope you get rich, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you.
Where crypto is hard, but Papa makes it easy.